Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And if you don't mind, I would very much like to continue on with the comments, the viewer comments that you very kindly left behind under a video that I had uploaded onto this channel several days back with regard to the Barnes Noble Criterion Collection sale during this time of July 2022. And so I have been going through as many comments as I can and responding to them in this video format. So in that spirit, I'd like to continue on. And that brings us to the comment from our dear friend, my dear friend, Stealthborn. Stealthborn, hello as always. I very much hope you are well. And you say, for the sale, I am getting Okja, Devil in a Blue Dress, Drive My Car, and Raging Bull. I may also have to get Pink Flamingos because I ordered it from deep discount and it is back ordered. This is the same thing that happened when I went for Monsieur Klein earlier. I also may consider a few four editions I don't have booklets for. I bought them used, which includes Big Deal on Madonna Street, I, Daniel Blake, The Game, Simon of the Desert, and The River. Still on the fence regarding box sets, though. I would like to get either the Agnes Varda or Ingmar Bergman box set. Maybe the Ingrid Bergman Eclipse set might be a great pickup as well. And I might even pick up a few Arrow video titles as well, though I don't know what to go for as of yet. Stealthborn, thank you so much for this. You have a wonderful planned selection, and as of the time of me making this video response, I wonder if you have already gotten those titles that you were thinking about. If so, I'd love to hear about those, including the Arrow titles. I don't speak about Arrow titles as much as I would like to on this channel, but I am a big fan of Arrow. I do have a number of Arrow titles that I am very fond of. I think it is a strong label. And I might have mentioned it before, but in particular, I like for example, I like the Arrow selections. For example, they have some great releases regarding Argento films, Bava films, and the like, as well as Arrow Academy, etc. So I really admire that label, and so if you have any of those great titles, I'd love to hear about them as well. And of course, you also mentioned Criterion titles. You mentioned, for instance, the Eclipse series. Well done. I'm a big fan of the Eclipse series. We always wonder whether it will be continued or maybe it is no longer to be continued. We haven't heard about any Eclipse series sets that have been announced recently in any of the recent release announcements. So maybe this means that there will be no more Eclipse series sets. They are DVD format. It is a wonderful series, and so I'm very happy that you mentioned that as being perhaps on your radar, as well as some other great titles. You mentioned some titles that, as of the making of this video response that I'm making, they haven't been released yet, or maybe they have been released, but they just haven't arrived here in Japan through my pre-order. However, you also mentioned some great box sets. For example, Ingmar Bergman box set, Agnes Varda box set. These are among the reasons why I think Criterion is so great. It's sets like these that provide the great example of the stellar level of Criterion. That Ingmar Bergman box set is one of the legendary sets. It is really very legendary, and it's only been around for a few years since its initial release, and already it's made quite an impact, I would say, in the world of physical media. I mean, in many ways, I think people regard it as being, this is how sets like this are done. It's really quite a remarkable thing. And also, I think the same holds true for the Agnes Varda set. That is a magnificent set. And I had the great honor of being able to speak about each of the titles that were included in that, or that are included in that brilliant set. The way it's ordered, the way that it is presented, the sweeping nature, and also as well as capturing the beautiful, intimate scale that is very much part of, or very much, I think, the living spirit, if you will, of Agnes Varda herself. She is, it's almost like she is living. Her spirit is within that very set itself, and it's this a living, breathing, feeling, spiritual thing And when one watches those films and one learns about her life and her great career trajectory, it becomes so emotionally moving, as well as such a great learning experience every single time. So in any event, Stealthborn, I very much hope that you find what it is you're looking for. And when you do, please, as always, you are always welcome to let me know. Let us know anytime, my dear, dear friend. Thank you very much, and I hope you're well. Next, we have JustinTime. Hello, JustinTime. It's nice to see you. And you say, this is my first sale, and I hope to start my collection during it. I'm just getting back into film, but I have a few movies I'm looking into picking up. Suggestions from anyone are more than welcome, as I'm still new to this. Parasite, Seven Samurai, Silence of the Lambs, Grand Budapest Hotel, Late Spring, Dr. Strangelove. I hope that these start off my collection, and I thank you, Daisuke, for introducing me to the Criterion collection. And you also indicate Late Spring as a blind buy, which means that you have yet to see it. And then I also see Matthew Kincannon very kindly providing a response as well for recommendations. Thank you, Matthew, for the follow-up. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has followed up and commented on other people's comments. That really warms my heart. I can't tell you enough just how much that really warms my heart. So thank you for that, Matthew, and for others who have been doing that. It really means a lot to me. Really, it does. JustinTime, what a great list. And I must say that, for example, you mentioned Late Spring as a blind buy. I have mentioned Late Spring a number of times on this channel. It is, I think, it could be my favorite film of all time, or among my favorite films of all time. It's so emotionally powerful to me. It's almost like it's one of those films where I have to emotionally prepare myself to watch it. It's that powerful for me. And I think as I grow older, it becomes even more overwhelming to me, especially considering my own position with my own family and my own children, my daughter, for example. So it's while I wouldn't say that the parallels between, say, the film's story and my life are 100% there. I mean, there are a number of differences between the lives of the characters and my own personal life, of course, but I can still at the same time get a type of, how should I put it, a sort of emotional connection that resonates very strongly and that becomes even stronger for me as I grow older. For instance, I watched the film recently and I was so overwhelmed by it. It's hard for me to gauge these things, perhaps, but perhaps my level of emotional being affected emotionally. I'm always affected by it emotionally, but it seems like over the years I just become even more and more so. So, JustinTime, what a great list. Welcome back. You said you're just getting back into film, so welcome back to the world of film. I hope you enjoy your journey, my dear, dear friend. Let us know anytime if you want to share any stories, any recommendations, any points along the way, any highlights, any discoveries, anything at all. Anything at all. JustinTime, you're always welcome here. Thank you so much, and warmest regards. Next we have Samuel Stevens. Hello, and you say, "Welp, I meant to pick up 3 completely different titles, all noirs, but instead got Memories of Murder, Tales of Hoffman, and Once Upon a Time in China set. Definitely maxed out buying for the sale. Times are tough." Excuse me, sorry. Samuel, thank you so much. And yes, times are tough. So of course, during such times, of course, there's no need to overextend oneself. Of course not. The Criterion collection will still be around, and hopefully there will be many, many other sales, many other opportunities for discounts along the way. So no worries, my dear friend. And that being said, the titles that you got are brilliant things. Memories of Murder. Wow. Yes. I had the great honor of being able to speak about this really mesmerizing film. It's really quite shocking and enthralling and absorbing, and really scary and horrifying, and also filled with a lot of meaning and history significance, and humor, and the power of cinema, and the very many the wonderful balancing act with many different tones and forms and styles and feelings that are included in this mesmerizing work. And then you mentioned Once Upon a Time in China set. Oh, thank you very much for mentioning that. Yes, that was another set that I had the great honor of discussing per each film and just general impressions. What a great set that is. So I hope you enjoy that as well, my friend. Tales of Hoffman Blu-ray. Yes, I'd received it some weeks back. I've been meaning to upload my discussion on that great Blu-ray release, which is the recent restoration version from a few years back, which is there's some very slight, but still there's some very maybe in terms of running time very slight, but still quite significant differences from, say, the prior DVD release from Criterion. So I hope you enjoy that. I look forward to talking about that. That is such a great film, The Tales of Hoffman. So Samuel Stevens, my dear friend, I hope this message finds you well, and cheers. Talk to you soon. And let's see, we have next is Jon Jeske. So hello, John. I hope this message finds you well. And you say, thanks for the info. Appreciate it. Love the De Palma conversation. Going to pick up Stalker, Crumb, and Salesman. Be safe, my friend. Wow, thank you so much. Stalker, Crumb, and Salesman. Wow. What a great trio. They each, I would say, have their distinctions and unique qualities to them, but I would say also that there are a number of potential similarities in terms of themes and a type of cinematic condition or conditions that are being displayed in each of those films respectively. So that is a really fascinating combination. Well done, John. Well done for that. I applaud that very much so. And also you mentioned the De Palma conversation. I'm assuming this refers to the recent conversation I had with our dear friend Brian Sauer, Just the Discs. I'm so honored for your about your comment, receiving it. Thank you very much, John. Yes, I was so honored to have him as a guest, and he shared with us his recommendations and his takes on the great and varied and brilliant career of the one, the only Mr. Brian De Palma. So thank you very much for watching it, John, for mentioning it, and thank you very much for sharing with me and for with all of us this part of your cinema journey. I hope your cinema journey takes you to many wonderful, exciting, beautiful places. And yes, anytime, John, anytime you want, please let me know. Let us know. Share with us some of those stories, some of those journeys, some of those high points, some of those landmark places along the way, those stops along the way. If ever you want to share with that, I would be so honored to hear that. John, thank you so much, and warmest regards. Thank you.